Oh, okay. So we're continuing the discussion on things that City Council does. This morning we talked about some of the infrastructures and some of the programs that they help to kind of do and to really just make better. This is a perfect example of a pond or little park that hasn't always been here. I think this park was made probably about 3 or 4 years ago. Before that, it was just pretty much weeds and trees and woods. And this is something that if you have people who actually care about you and care about what your community looks like, they can fight to help make sure, everything looks okay. One of the things here is they have game wardens who come out and stock the pond with fish. Probably last summer we came here often, quite often, and people would sit out on the pier and fish. So when people are talking about they want areas that, have harmony, have, just really scenery that's really nice and clean areas, free of people that would do anything to hurt them, this is kind of what they're talking about. They want a place to go so they can be safe and out of the way of anything dangerous. Just going to get you a closer look of the pool. And again, now this is probably one of the nicer parks that we've seen in the area. And here's the pier over here. Keep in mind that this park was just created probably less than 4 years ago, maybe 4 or 5 years ago. Hasn't been long at all. Before that, this was just nothing but weeds, woods, and, that's about it. And I'll get you a closer look at the little pond. Okay, here we are on the pier. This pier has so many spiders on it. That's the only thing that's creepy because I hate spiders. But here's the little pond or whatever you want to call it. Again, the city council comes here, not the city council, but the game wardens and stuff come. They help to make sure that fish are here for people to come here and fish. And it's just a nice area that kind of sits in the back of houses. If you look up this way, you'll see a place where they can hold events, which is over there. Every Sunday or Saturday, there's some type of event that's always held over there. It doesn't matter what it is. There's a playground. I don't know if you can see it that well. And here's the other exit to the pier. And back over there are houses. So this is, what people at City Council help to decide. Like, what goodies do you get? Do you get something that's nice and recreational, or, do you get nothing? And part of the problems that we're having, which you're about to see, is another area that's pretty much been forgotten. It looks horrible and it looks kind of run down. You'll see more on that soon. Okay, so part two. This is the other park that we're telling you about. And remember when I told you there was an area in Garland that they said needed help? Well, this is that area. And I just want to give you a little idea of what the park looks like. And I want to show you something over here. Not only, well, first of all, just kind of look at the surroundings. There's like housing over there. And, right there's like a store. It's not perfect by a long shot, but what I really want to show you is the sign. Check out the sign. Hide your belongings, lock your car, take your keys. And basically that's going to be one of the big differences between the other park and this park. Each one is something that the city helps to pay for, but One is in better shape than the other one. One is in a better neighborhood than the other one. This one is in a neighborhood that's used predominantly by minorities. As you see, some playing on the basketball court and some playing in the swings. And when you come over here, you're looking at some of the stores. This is a tire store that sells all kinds of, alignment, and I want to say they sell rims too. And the gas station right there. And you look over here across the street, and there's an insurance place that actually deals with loans and stuff. You can't really see it that well. Right there. And so this is like one of the main differences. Is basically you have two different types and sides of the street. Well, for the parks, you have one park that anyone would be more than happy to go to. Then you have another park that has signs telling you to hide your keys and everything else. So, again, this is something that the city could look into trying to improve, and it's just this one area that they're talking about. Even, that's one of the things that one of the council members is talking about, trying to make this area a little bit better than what. Okay, so this is yet another park, and this is Duck Creek Park. This park is known for people who like to bike, walk. I've come here quite often walking and, well, pretty much just walking. At some points I would take my dog here and let my dog run around because they have quite a big open space over here. And this is also owned by the city and taken care of by the city. And again, the differences are going to be pretty huge when it comes to certain areas and what certain things look like and what other areas look like. I'm going to show you a pond really quick. Okay, one of the things I want you to do is I want you to see the sign. It's a big deal because, again, when we're talking about city council and what they do, it's important to look for the word city because usually it has something to do with what the city does. And this is the sign, Duck Creek Park. Well, it's actually Duck Creek Greenbelt Park. Okay? And that's the city of Garland. Now, this pond on the other side of this Duck Creek was empty about maybe a year or 2 years ago. And they have filled it up. You see there's like a sign there about dumping and stuff. You can't dump. You can't see it, but you can't do it. Just try to get you close as I can to the pond so you can kind of see what's going on. I love this area because we have so much water over here. We have Lake Ray Hubbard and all the different lakes, the Louisville Lake. But this right here, it was practically empty for the longest time until they restocked it. And the levels are still pretty low because we haven't been getting that much rainfall. But again, this is because of the city. There are so many things that the city does that a lot of people have no idea about. And this is the difference between getting a nice sized park with a nice lake and nice walking areas opposed to getting, a park from the other side that has basically nothing. And the thing a lot of people don't understand and don't realize is that within the city you have districts, and certain people do certain things for certain districts. So it's important when we're talking about who we're going to vote for, why we're going to vote for certain people, because certain people are going to look out for certain areas. You want to make sure whoever you vote in for your area is going to do the most and the best that they can to make sure that your area looks good. You know, here are some of the houses that are right across from that pond. We're talking about a pretty decent neighborhood. Nothing wrong, but I bet you would never guess that this isn't even 1 mile from that park with hide your keys and hide your purse and lock your doors. And yet when you look around here, you don't see any signs like that anywhere. Not even a mile down the road, and you don't see that. So again, that's why it's very important that you think about who you're voting for and what they can do to help protect your area.